we're just talking about murder.
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 Mayhem. Oh
Plot
my
it all out.
Lord. If
Lord.
only you guys knew the pain and suffering.
The pain and suffering that this cult goes through, man.
Hugs.
All I gotta say, if you're contemplating breeding, may I recommend thinking the other way? Maybe not.
Go my way. The
Yeah, maybe take a
breederless way.
Sandra.
Take a
cue
page
from
out of my
Sandra.
book.
No breeding. The world
Nah.
has enough little bastards running around. Don't create more.
You know what you need? You need an iguana. Get yourself an iguana.
I want an iguana.
I do too, but I don't have enough space for an iguana. Don't even get me started. That's a whole other headache.
Or if you're gonna do it, just be prepared to lose all your hair and drink a lot of whiskey. So that's what I've learned.
I mean,
Be
options.
prepared.
Be prepared. That's the Lion Nazi song.
Yeah, that's the one Scar sings.
Yeah. Said what I
Anyway,
said.
speaking of drinking, Sandra.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, my friends. I'm having
everyone.
Oh, there's Jake. I see Jake's rump and his tail.
There's a Jake booty.
He's like getting all settled in for the episode. Like, he tried to throw me out, but I'm back.
I'm back.
I'm back, bitches. I've got my lovely Sonoma County cup, which I love. I've got the seedlit herbaceous going, my favorite. I have lemon juice, sparkly water. Delicious.
Nice.
Reusable straw, as always. Reusable straw.
You're set. You're all set.
It's a party. It's a party right here. I miss you guys. Why didn't we do this all together? What the fuck were we thinking?
Good question.
What the fuck were we thinking?
What the fuck were we thinking?
I don't know.
That's okay. We'll figure that out.
It might have been the complete lack of communication
Whose fault was that,
that we
Neil?
had. That I had. Oh no, I'm not blaming anyone other than myself. I'm not at
I'm
all.
just teasing.
For a
This
second.
It was my fault. You guys, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I lost track of time. I should have
Well,
spoken
maybe
up.
you should
I didn't.
unblock us in your phone, and then that wouldn't be a problem.
You know what I did? It wasn't that I hit ignore because like whenever we do a group chat and I'm busy doing something and then I come back to it, there's like 89 messages from all of us,
89 pieces of delightful literature, you mean?
And I screenshot everything, by the way. So
Get those receipts. Save those receipts, kids. What are you drinking over there?
so I'm doing a vodka pineapple.
Going over there.
Vodka pineapple. Ooh.
Vodka pineapple.
I love
Yum.
a pineapple moment. We don't have enough of
I
those.
saw Australian comedian Jim Jeffries get fucked up on one of these one time at a show. Fucked up.
And so now you're like, I want to be like him.
Not really. His money, maybe?
I want your money.
He was pretty funny though. I enjoyed him quite a
Oh,
bit.
that was a great show. That was fun. Good times. Good times.
It was-
How about
it
you
was.
over there?
I've got the wonderful glass that Sir Producer of all things, Scott, has bequeathed upon me, so I use it often.
Yes.
Inside of it, there is the wonderful bullet rye with some fresh squeezed OJ and a couple of dollops of vanilla syrup.
What? Vanilla
Yes.
syrup?
I am treating myself
Yeah.
tonight because of the week that it has been. So
Yes.
I'm pampering myself. I want to feel
Self-care.
pretty.
This is
Also
self-care.
pretty. Yes, self-care.
Oh, I love it. Well,
So-
should we chin chin?
We should, but real quick, what are we doing on the show? Before
What are we doing
cheers?
here? We're not all just hanging out?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, we're hanging out, but in case anyone wants to, before they
Talk
jump
about
ship,
some-
let them know what's happening.
We're doing something pretty awesome tonight. We are saluting said producer Scott. And we are doing a movie he picked, one of his favorite movies of all time, and a cult movie through and through, Death to Smoochy. So we're going to talk about that. And before we jump into it, we're going to talk about Robin Williams. And we're going to talk about dark comedies.
There you go.
We're gonna have fun while we do
That's
it.
a show.
God bless
That's
it.
a cooey of a show.
Cooey.
Cooey.
God bless America. We're doing this.
Yes. Cheers.
Chin chin. Oh, hi. Welcome back. Wow, Neil took a
Welcome.
big drink. Took
That
a
was a big
gulp
gulp.
of that
Whew.
one.
I know.
That was a
I hope
big
you made
gulp.
yourself a double.
That was a, yeah, I did. You're good. That was my 32 ounce 7-Eleven size whiskey.
Nice.
Okay. Who, may I ask, is joining us tonight? And it looks like we've got the wonderful Hungry Boy himself. Hungry.
Hello, hungry.
Hungry posted an Easter video, which I haven't had a chance to watch yet. I don't know. So, okay, I am aware. We are aware, Hungry. I'm sorry. We're just, apparently we're just being shit this week at communication all the way around.
It's been it's a rough start to April, kids.
Yeah, April is my worst month, by the way. I absolutely despise April.
I know why.
Why? Why is that?
You told me this, and I remember because I listened to you when you talk. You said you hate spring. You hate spring in general because it is like the antithesis of Halloween. It's like the furthest you can get. You don't like it.
No, exactly. It's like everything's coming back to life and things are green.
He wants it dead.
You know, I like it better when it's going the other direction. I don't know why. It's bizarre, but it just makes me sad. Yes, Caleb.
Isn't the day after Halloween the furthest you can get from Halloween?
It's a vibe, Caleb. It's a vibe.
But it's still like fall is upon you. The colors are still changing. It's cool. But April is like winter is officially done and you just got nothing but hot weather to look forward to, kind of thing.
Hot weather and sunshine and grass and flowers and animals.
I will say my allergies have just been going crazy the last couple of weeks. Everything's blooming.
Then there's that.
It's warm and I'm just a sneezy, wheezy, runny, drippy, coffee.
Sexy mess.
Well, yeah.
I'm just one big sinus.
Yeah, anyway, that's just Caleb in a nutshell. So, one big ladies, he's single. Okay, who else is with us? We have the wonderful space face Macy herself.
Hello. Know her.
Going down. And Todd. What's up, Todd? Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Todd, it's been too long.
Michael B. Hello, Michael.
Hey, Michael.
Hey, Michael.
And Laura. Hi, Laura. Oh, hi, Laura.
Oh, hey, Laura. Laura Palmer.
And Mindy, of course.
Mindy.
Hi, Mindy. Winner, chicken dinner, Mindy.
That's right. She was our giveaway winner. Does she have her prizes? Do we have a picture?
Oh, picture of Mindy.
With her loop?
Do we?
Yeah.
It's like she's prom queen.
She's prom queen. She's basically called show prom queen. She's basically called show prom queen. That's basically how that works.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Here she is. Little Miss Cold Show. So, put a little sash on her and boom.
I know.
Bravo.
You got me singing tonight, guys. I'm sorry.
Scott, that's okay. I think you should sing a lot more, actually.
Really?
If you want to know that, if you want to know the truth, I think you should sing more.
Really? More singing?
Yeah.
You know what? No one's ever said that to me before. Thank you. It's usually quite the opposite.
They usually throw rotten fruit at you. No, I love it. I have called you the songbird of your generation, and that's the truth. I have called you that. So
I am the Cat Stevens of the 80s, baby. So.
Of like 80s cool 90s. Yeah. Right. It's like that little connective tissue between the 80s and 90s. That's you.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm the missing link, you're saying, of the 80s and 90s. So I gotcha.
Own it.
Oh, fair enough. I'll take it. Taking it.
Hey, Neil.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us why you're in such a zombie fugue-like state this week?
Oh, geez. Okay.
It's on the schedule. It's on the schedule to bring it up.
Okay. Just remind me. I gotta say who else is here. I haven't I don't want to leave anyone out. That's all.
Why don't you do both? Do both.
Do both at the same time.
Yeah, just intersplice the two.
Okay. We also have Tommy Lovett joining us. Welcome, Tommy.
Tommy.
Hello. This week was crazy because, as you guys know, movie theaters are opening. So we had 5 locations of ours opening this week throughout the state. So
Madness.
So they opened Wednesday, but it's just kind of the madness to get all 5 opened. Conversely, we also have Mark Vision's Truth joining us in the chat.
Layer it in.
Layering, baby. I'm like an onion. I'm like a fine French pastry, layer upon layer of butter and brown sugar. So yeah, just gonna go. And I think that is it anyway, though. I think I don't see Mark Vision's Truth. I don't see Pismo. So
okay. For our California. Oh.
No, go ahead.
Then we'll shout them out if they come in.
Yeah. And then there's also a federal grant that is out there to help the shuttered venues, like live venues and museums, movie theaters, that kind of thing. And that application opens for that on Wednesday, this upcoming Wednesday. But the Fed and the SBA, who is administrating that application process, is starts kind of putting out little, here's what you need, here's some documents, here's this and that. So it's like we're scrambling trying to get all the information because it's a very huge application process. It's very, very, very important. And they're saying like, if you do something wrong, we're going to decline you and you can't reapply. That's it. It's just boom, you're done.
Okay. So this is serious.
We have to really get it right. Yeah, it's serious. Yeah. So it's kind of like trying to do both at the exact same time. It's been, it's been very stressful. So that's all. Yeah. And then, it's been a lot of early mornings, late nights, but more importantly, movie theaters are opening up. So you guys go out there and see Godzilla versus Kong in the theater. See it. It's awesome. I haven't seen it, but I've seen
support.
Yeah.
I was going to ask for our California listeners and viewers, what are the 5 that are open of our local chapter?
So it's going to be 3 in Sonoma County for ours, which is the airport in Santa Rosa, the Roxy 14 downtown Santa Rosa,
also
and
good.
The Summerfield Cinemas, which is the art house in Santa Rosa.
My other favorite. So my top 3 and my favorite 2.
Well, there you go.
Offense to our basement. Like the rock.
That works out fine.
Your holy trinity of theaters.
There you go. And then anyone who's in Ventura County, we have 2 in Ventura County that are also opening. One in Camarillo, one in Oxnard. Todd is opening, asking about Lodi. And Todd, that's up to you, man. You need to get San Joaquin County to, get that countdown. You guys got to wear your masks and stop doing whatever crazy French kissing you're all doing over there.
So we just put it all on Todd. We just put this.
It's all Todd. Yeah, Todd needs to take care of that. So,
Todd's gonna be like the hero of that county.
Handle it.
Todd, get it done. Jesus,
Todd, listen to Caleb and all his drippiness. He knows.
I'm sick of telling you this every week, Todd, to get your act together.
Come on, Todd.
Just kidding. People support Todd.
Anyway.
Todd can't do it alone.
Please, San Joaquin County. And Fresno County just got the okay, so that one's going to open up in a week or 2. One of our other theaters there. So
we have friends in Fresno. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, us as the cult show. Yeah.
We do. You're right. So
Todd says he's going to throat punch people for the cause.
Fuck yeah, Todd.
Thank you. That's all we can ask.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So thank you. This is my first chance, I'll be honest, to sit down in a chair without having to run around and be on the phone and doing whatever at the same time, yelling, screaming because everything's going wrong, and just talking to people in a nice way.
If they call while you're here, like, you have to put them on the air, and we will all shame them.
I don't know. I might get canceled even quicker if you guys hear
we might be like,
conversations.
Hey, leave Neil alone.
Todd, did your daughter work at the Lodi Theater? He's saying his daughter needs her job back. Did she work at Lodi Theater or a different one?
We gotta get her.
That would be a small world if that's the case. Wow.
We got to get her job back.
She needs her gerb.
She needs her gerb.
Anyway,
Neil,
what's going on with you, Sandra? Enough about me.
Me. Oh, I was just gonna tell you guys. I watched a movie that was scary.
Ooh.
Well, I mean, creepy. I watched a creepy movie. For a lot of the unjaded fan, probably would be scary. I watched, and I always say this name wrong, so I want to make sure I say it right. I watched The Dark and the Wicked. Have you guys heard of this? It came out in 2020 technically, and it's but I don't know if it actually came out, it's one of those things, but it's on Shudder now. I believe it's exclusively on Shudder at the moment, and it's from the people who brought us The Strangers, which I love The Strangers. And it is a paranormal kind of joint. It's about two adult children who are going home to the farm they grew up on because their dad is dying and their mom is taking care of him. And when they get to the farmhouse, they realize that something is very, very, very wrong. Something dark, something wicked. This way comes.
Oh, this way comes. Okay. Cool.
But it was really. I think so. I think it was a fun, creepy, good time. I don't know. I just liked it. I just liked the characters. I liked the acting. I liked the vibe of the whole piece. It's like there's some pretty quick stuff, but it's also kind of a slow burn. It's one of those. I don't know. It's kind of nuanced. It feels like familiar, but also kind of new. And I don't know, it went down really nice. It went down really smooth. Other than that, I got a new tattoo on my leg.
Yeah.
On my leg.
Wow.
I saw that.
Yes,
I didn't. See, where the hell have I been?
You've been busy.
You've been filling out applications, so
doing all that Sandra stuff.
She didn't text me. She just texted old Drippy over there and left me out of it. So
actually, no. Me. It was just on Instagram.
I just posted. I just put it on the Instagram. I just snuck it on up there. But I'm very happy. Very happy filling out my legs. I have a lot of tattoos, and it's just what's one more? The more the merrier.
Yeah. What the hell?
One big happy family.
Hey, Mark, Vision's Truth says that Dark and the Wicked is intense, just gets darker and darker as the movie goes. Very good. So
cool.
Okay.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm so glad you enjoyed it.
Awesome. I might have to add that one to the list.
Yeah, just watch it. Just have a good time.
Yeah. There's a lot right now on if anyone gets movies on iTunes, like I do, like to go and try and buy the movies on iTunes, so I have them digitally, even if I own them on as a hard copy. But they're having a pretty good sale right now for like $4.99. You can get there's quite a extensive offering right now for horror, comedy, everything.
Wow.
But I recommend you guys, if anyone you guys like to kind of grab those cheap films like I do, then now's a good time to take a look see, because for a long time they had nothing good, but there were some good horror titles, some good stuff on there. So
nice. Yeah.
Okay.
What about you, Caleb?
Again, I didn't really watch a lot this week other than Scott's pick. I did watch Falcon and Winter Soldier. I have been watching that on Disney+. I gotta get caught
up on that.
And then I started a new trilogy, a book trilogy. It's called the Broken Earth trilogy. It's called Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin.
Caleb,
have you seen this or read this?
It's sitting on my shelf. It's on my to be read this year pile.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got it used like 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm so thrilled. M.K. Jemisin is huge. People just love her.
I didn't know the name, but I'm maybe a quarter through the first book, and so far I am very intrigued. Like I want to know where this is going. So and it was given to me by someone who had read them and thought I might like them. So
nice.
I thought I would put the Kindle down for a little bit and like actually pick up A book. Something you have to turn pages on, you know.
You go like this, like your finger, you go.
Yes.
Like that.
Find a bookmark. I have this old leather bookmark that I like to use, and
love it. Love it. I love a physical book. Love it.
A book. There's also a film coming out, In the Earth. Have you heard of this one coming out? Horror film. Ben Wheatley directed, the guy who did Kill List.
No.
So it's going to be kind of probably a little intense, a little partially off, but
a little twisted.
A little twisted possibly. But it comes out April. I think it's end of April.
Okay.
But it actually looks pretty good. Check out the trailer. It looks pretty decent actually. So it's going to hit theaters and stuff. But it's a neon films. But
okay,
it went to Sundance, and then I guess Neon picked it up, and they've been waiting to get it out there. But so I hear pretty good things about it. But that looks it's a pandemic film. Like they shot it during the pandemic. But yeah, give it a watch. Give the trailer a watch.
Give the trailer a watch. Well, right on.
Otherwise, can I introduce you to our newest, or can I introduce everyone else to our newest cult show member, our family?
Who is this? Oh, hi.
Remember, this is Emma part 2. Emma 2.
Emma 2.
Emma 2.
Oh,
Emma, my goodness. Emma, cover up. Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Sorry.
That's fine. Free the
Apologies.
nipple. Free it. Yeah.
So, yeah. Our good friend Emma from Spooky Summer Party is moving to the Great Pacific North. And she was having a little yard sale. So I went to her house and I was like, Emma, what is that sticking out over there? And she's like, oh my gosh, Neil, this is for you. So anyway, and it's got like guts and everything.
Wow.
It's a really cool looking piece.
Yeah, it's a very nice. So it's our new, we'll probably bring it to the studio next time so we can have our friend there. But
have her hanging out, literally.
Anyway,
I know she told me
hanging out.
She loves that. That's like one of her favorite props, and I guess she was loath to get rid of it, and she almost like did a takesy backsy and was like, "You can't have it."
That's okay,
but it's okay because now she lives on with us.
I twisted her wrist.
Maybe you could
enough
share custody.
Right?
Bye.
Like she can have a nice little visitation. Bye, Emma 2. See you soon.
Anyway,
what else are you gonna do, Neil? What about
nothing? I told you guys everything going on in my life, so that is it for this week.
I wanted you to talk to me about what's happening this week in entertainment history.
Oh, that. Okay, well, yeah, this week in entertainment history.
I mean, or not.
Da-da-da. Thank you, Sandra, for that.
It's okay. I'm here with my little taser to prod us all along. Come on.
Keeping us on track.
Yeah,
okay.
Not that I'd ever do that to an animal, but yeah. Or you.
Never. But to me, yeah, it's a different story. Okay. April 1st, 1990. WrestleMania 6. For all you wrestling fans.
That's me.
Yeah. The Ultimate Warrior beats Hulk Hogan for the heavyweight belt.
Love it. I love Ultimate Warrior.
Shocking. I don't know. Was Hulk Hogan a bad guy at that point yet?
I don't remember if he was a heel at that point or not, but I love the Ultimate Warrior. So
do you? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you know that April 2nd, 1989, WrestleMania 5 happened? And Hulk Hogan.
That makes sense.
Hulk Hogan, yeah, he beat Randy. Ooh yeah, Macho Man Savage for the whatever heavyweight belt.
Yeah, the title. So, yeah. Okay.
The title. There you go.
On. Right on. Go Hulk on that one. Probably
so
more
apparently,
of a Hulk than a
WrestleMania happens sometimes in early April. Apparently.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And you know what? In a couple of years, it's going to be in LA. Producer Scott and I are going because we went when last time I was in California, and we love WrestleMania. Gotta go. You gotta go.
Really?
Do it.
Wow. Okay. Road trip.
Yep. Road trip.
Okay. Also, April 2nd, which is today's date. This is actually kind of fitting. Did you guys know that in 1902, the first full-time movie theater in the United States opened in Los Angeles, California?
Los Angeles?
It was called the Electric Theater.
Wow.
How cool is that?
That's really fitting in the reopen and the whole thing.
It is.
Yeah.
I thought that
poetic.
was kind of poetic. Yeah. Yep. April 2nd, 1968, 2001 premiered in Washington, D.C. at the Uptown Theater.
How appropriate. We're
Wow.
talking about some of producer Scott's favorite movies. That's one
2001. Okay. For you Star Wars fans, I know there's a few of you out there. April 2nd, 1914, the birthday of Alec Guinness.
Oh.
Sir Obi-Wan himself.
Cheers.
Actually, he was Sir Alec Guinness, right? He was knighted?
He was knighted, yeah.
Okay. Finally, April 2nd, 1954, Ron Palio was born, otherwise known as Horseshack, from Welcome Back, Kotter. He used to go, ooh, 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 like that. So
like
if you watch the show, you know.
I haven't watched the show. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I forgive you. So I know someone in the chat's going to go, oh, yeah, welcome back. Exactly.
Yeah, I've heard the theme song. That's what because I know John Travolta was on that, right?
Travolta, yep.
That was the John Travolta one? Okay.
That was it. Anyway, that's it. That's the end of this week. And this week was Pointless Entertainment History. So there you go.
Pretty random. Pretty random.
And then finally, new subscriber alerts. We got Bloodsport 1.
The sick name, I love it.
Altig and James Brooking. Welcome.
Love it.
Yeah.
Welcome, friends.
Love it. Love you.
Thank you very much.
Love you.
Thank you.
Oh, and Michael, by the way, Michael B pointed out, and he's completely correct, that Ron Palio was the very first victim in Friday the 13th, Part 6. So he's
was
right.
he really?
He was, yes. He got his heart punched out, basically.
Wow, I wouldn't have made that connection to who that was. The more you know.
Do. All right. Let's start talking. Dark comedy, Sandra.
Okay, so you may have noticed here at the Cult Show, we have what you would call a rather dark sense of humor. And believe it or not, we really tone it down for like our shows, because amongst ourselves it gets a little darker. Like, you know, to a point, right? Where people who don't have dark humor would probably be real concerned. So there's that.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So just saying. So we like dark comedies. And the thing about dark comedies is they tend to also not be just that genre. They're usually also kind of action. They're also kind of dark dramedies or horror. I noticed when I was kind of like looking and thinking about some of my own favorites, a lot of people consider like horror comedy dark comedy too, which for me there's a little bit of a line there, but I can see the bleed over. I mean everything's just kind of marketing, right? Like, so there's some wiggle room within that, but Death to Smoochy, which we're going to talk about, is a very, very, my cat's here, is a very dark comedy. So we wanted to talk about some of our favorites, and since it's starring the late, great Robin Williams, who we all miss so much, oh my God, she almost spilt my drink. She's going to join. She loves Death to Smoochy, so she wants to be here for this.
Man alive.
She's her father's daughter.
Filling your drinks.
Look, she's getting all comfy. Oh, Robin Williams, Death to Smoochy, let's talk about it. And Robin Williams, and also, again, this is a very producer Scott heavy episode here. He is one of the biggest Robin Williams fans on the planet, which a lot of people may not know about him. So I assume he's gonna jump in here with some stuff, but let's kick it off with some of our dark comedies that we love. Did you guys have a few you wanted to share with the class?
Of course. Let Caleb talk. I don't talk too much.
You know, I made a list. I wasn't exactly sure like how we were doing this, so I probably have rules. Like 20 that I wrote down.
Jesus, okay, that's a lot.
Wow. Good. I want to hear these.
I have 10.
And then that's the whole thing. It's sort of like, you know, is it a dark comedy? Is it not? Is it, you know, so like right off the bat, the first thing I wrote down was Dr. Strangelove.
Definitely a dark comedy.
You know, that was one of my comedy
Survey
picks.
says.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that is probably my favorite Kubrick film. but you know, I mean, we've talked about how I feel about The Shining, and you know,
we all
already.
have some.
So,
We all have some
so we
Kubrick
won't
feelings.
get into that. But you know, Pulp Fiction.
I'm
Yes,
gonna
no,
interject there and say that pretty much every Quentin Tarantino is a dark comedy.
but that's my favorite.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
you know, why I didn't
But I
write
mean,
10
truly,
down.
that's he definitely like he leans heavily into that. Of course, he always blends in his westerns and his thises and his that's, but
Right.
he's definitely a dark comedy guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Some lighter. I don't want to say lighter, but Better Off Dead. About a kid with John Cusack.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
it's sold as a lot lighter, but I don't know. Going back and watching that now, there's some pretty dark themes in there. That movie probably has been canceled for some things too. So I'll just move on to that.
But it's there.
American
It's
Psycho,
there.
a movie we just talked
Definitely.
about a month ago. However,
Month ago, a year ago, whatever.
What do I want to give you? Falling Down. This is a movie that Neil and I both really enjoy. Neil seems to be thinking dark comedy or not. It's Michael Douglas and Robert Duvall and Barbara Hershey.
Wow. I like those people.
About a guy that just kind of loses it on his way to work, and he goes and has an adventure.
Yeah,
through Los Angeles.
It's a great film.
I'm not seeing it. Yeah.
I wonder, dark comedy. Interesting, Caleb. I got to rethink that then. Okay, I got to think about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not exactly sure. You know. Anyway, give me some of your picks, and we'll hash it out. How's that?
Yeah. Do you want to go next, Neil? All right. Let me go.
I'll go. How's that?
You go. You go, Neil.
I go, boy. One of mine would probably be Gross Point Blank. I'm saying as a dark comedy because it involves hitman and murder.
That's pretty. Yeah. So, but it's a comedy.
One of my faves. I see these ones. I'm gonna list them because
just do it.
I find that they're funny. But like you, Sandra, I'm kind of like, well, I don't know if it really is a dark comedy because it's just kind of funny to me. But like Shaun of the Dead and Slither, they're horror comedies. I don't know that they're dark comedies.
Yeah, but they definitely right. Yeah, it's that weird line.
Right, like to you and me, like we just think they're funny, but other people might think because of the gore or the subject matter that they're dark comedies. I don't know.
Yeah. Look, I'm crying. I'm calling the ambulance for those people.
I know.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
I have Bad Santa on here.
Oh, definitely dark comedy. Yeah.
Yeah.
That franchise.
And my final one I have listed here, I don't know if this is a dark comedy or so, but Big Lebowski.
Oh.
Because it's definitely fun
about it.
Yeah. I would say it's got some very dark moments. I mean, I would say it's a dark comedy. I don't really think of it as it, but technically.
Right. Yeah. Like to me, I think of a dark comedy is something like, that really is dark in nature. Like, and you're not supposed to, in theory, most normal folks wouldn't really find the levity in that movie. And that's what some of us who do, that would be a dark comedy, but.
Yeah.
Anyway. That's what I got.
I think that's awesome. So on my list, I have Heathers, movie I love very much. I have Fargo.
I have Fargo down.
Fargo, yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Definitely.
Ready or Not, which I loved. That one's definitely in the horror comedy realm, but some of the stuff is pretty dark in it, and it's a pretty gory film too. So I think it skews a little darker than some horror comedies. Jennifer's Body, kind of the same thing, pretty dark skewing. And I don't know if this is actually dark or not, but it's meta dark, which would be the Truman Show. Because it's like it's such a fucked up concept
of keeping a person like, ignorant and then against his will when he does find out.
And making like a reality TV show about them.
Right.
Yeah. I also had Happy Death Day, which I haven't seen the sequel yet, but I liked the first one. I think The Cabin in the Woods actually is another one that kind of straddles that horror comedy, dark comedy line. And you know what else I was thinking? I kind of consider Knives Out dark comedy too.
Well, I mean, there's a murder that is,
but it's very funny. It's
trying to be solved. So
yeah.
That one also crossed my mind.
Crossed your mind? What else? Anybody?
Todd. So Todd is saying Brain Dead from New Zealand, which of course we all know is Dead Alive.
Totally. Good choice. Love that movie.
Nice. I had
Greasy Strangler.
Greasy Strangler.
Yeah, I mean, that movie is so absurd and bizarre. Let's call it a dark comedy. Why the fuck not? I mean, it is dark. It is dark. I mean, it's dark.
That movie can be whatever it wants to be.
Yeah,
it's just
it can grow up
lovely.
and be a fireman. It can be whatever it wants to be. Yeah, an astronaut.
That movie can achieve whatever it wants.
Free drinks.
It's kind of the free drinks.
Free drinks.
Kind of the same thing with Come to Daddy too, which I think is a good dark comedy as well. Just nice and dark and kind of absurd. Yeah.
Yep.
I had Trainspotting on mine.
That one crossed my mind too, but for me, it's so much more of a dramedy. I don't know, but again, it's just this is semantics.
It's just,
I mean, I'm not going to die on that hill.
Yeah. I had Brazil.
Oh, I love Brazil.
Yeah, movie I watched probably just within the last year, I think.
We should do an episode on Brazil. Would y'all like that? Y'all want to talk about Brazil?
Yeah, I'd watch. Yeah.
People at
and then
home.
I had
see Neil make that face when we talk about Brazil.
That might be one of those films where you guys would have to hopefully change my mind on it.
He just for people who don't have the visual, Neil just made a really big frown and kind of like nodded his head side to side in a very non-committal non-committal gesture.
Kind of like does my butt look big in these jeans? Kind of back
it's
and
like
forth.
don't you want it to look big? I think the kids do. I know I do.
Nothing wrong with big.
Right?
Just saying.
Just saying.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Did you have more?
No, I'm saying Sandra, you haven't gone yet. Or is Caleb going still?
Honey, I've gone.
Oh, you did all yours?
Did all mine.
No, okay, sorry. Okay.
I know. I'm the one with the big list this time. I'm the one with
he has like 30 films.
Come up with 5, and I came with 20.
I love it. What else you got?
The last one, In Bruges, with Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson.
Never seen.
Didn't see it.
It's a good movie. Y'all should check it out.
That's a good dark comedy.
I think it's a good dark comedy. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Good old Dusty says Reanimator, which certainly has been called.
I would say
again, that whole horror. Yeah.
and it is funny. I mean, of course, that's dead. Details later. Everybody loves that, and of course, the head with that. Yeah, it's funny.
I don't know.
I'm sorry. With the what?
Yeah, the who?
Oh, that.
That one.
Is that what he does?
Right.
He makes that little chompy sound.
I've been wondering for 35 years, like, what the heck is he doing? That's what it is.
I got you.
Subtitles and they don't nail it.
No, you know what it is because I myself am a chattering head, so I speak that language.
Well,
Cultural.
Then you too, Sandra, should get a job in a sideshow. So that's for all you Reanimator fans. That's Reanimator. Okay.
Okay. Well, while people are still kind of chiming in, should we talk a little bit about the man of the hour, Robin Williams?
Yes. Why not?
So obviously we mentioned that producer Scott, huge fan. What are you guys Robin Williams fans? What's some of your favorites?
Yeah.
What's some of your
You know what? When someone
faves?
asks me Robin Williams, I immediately go to The World According to Garp.
Same.
That's like
I haven't seen that.
Same. Yeah.
Oh.
It's kind of interesting because when I was thinking about it, like when I'm looking to get my comedy itch scratched, like Robin Williams isn't the
right.
Movie wise, he's not the person I go to. You know, the movies of his that I like are, you know, World According to Garp, Fisher King, of course, The Birdcage, which is a comedy, but you know, there's also
some dramatic stuff,
an issue that they're dealing with. You know, of course, I think about Dead Poets Society. I think about
Captain, My Captain,
Awakenings. This like movie that I don't really know how many, very few people may have seen with Robert De Niro. Good Will Hunting, of course. So yeah, like
you kind of go for the dramedies a little.
Yeah, I mean, he's a phenomenal actor. He really is. Like he doesn't have to just do comedy. And my favorites of his are not comedies, you know.
Yeah. You appreciate his range, and I appreciate that. And I like a lot of those films too. I will say The Birdcage is my favorite. If you've been around for a while, you know that's like my favorite comedy of all time. I adore The Birdcage. And I love him in that. And I love him and Nathan Lane's chemistry. I think it's just magical. It's just magical. It just jumps right out the screen. As a child of the 90s, my list is kind of what you would expect, and I have no shame in that. The Mrs. Doubtfire's, Jumanji, Aladdin, Hook. You know, I love it. I love it. They make me laugh. They make me cry. They make me ugly cry. That's not true. I don't cry. But like all of those things. I had a couple others on there. Like I know a lot of people kind of love this one. It's a little dark. 1 Hour Photo. You guys have seen that?
He really 1 Hour Photo. Insomnia is another kind of dark one.
Insomnia,
yeah.
And this is a super random one. But I haven't really talked about this, but I am a fan of Law and Order Special Victims Unit. Only Special Victims Unit. I can never get into any other Law and Order. And there's an episode from way back in season 9 called Authority that has Robin Williams in it as a guest star, and it's phenomenal. It's so phenomenal. And producer Scott had not seen that one, and it came on recently, and I'm like, oh, you gotta watch this one. And I think it's all on Hulu right now too, so you can check it out.
Wow.
There are like 37 seasons to go through.
Yeah, but it's, you know, there's not like it's a meta plot or something, so you can just hop on in there, watch that Robin Williams, and then skedaddle if you gotta.
Okay.
Huh.
I think there's 21 or 22 seasons. Yeah. A lot.
Wow.
It is a lot.
Well, I'd have to
you kind of had to be there.
If Scott hasn't seen World According to Garp either, you two should check that one out.
Yeah.
I believe you guys would like it.
Yeah.
It's pretty very heavy. It's heavy, but it's deep, and it's got a lot of going on. I mean, with I guess what is it? Not even transgender. I can't remember. John Lithgow's in it. He plays.
Oh, John Lithgow.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's transgender.
I think
I can't remember now.
But they just didn't have the.
They had the terminology, maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. You know.
Yeah, and there's a whole there's a women's equal ERA kind of thing going on. I think type of deal, and
love that.
There's a lot of stuff in this movie going on. So
wow,
it's a really good. It was based on a
good movie,
a book from like the late 70s. But it's a heck of a film. So
yeah, it's another one of those movies that Neil took poor little sheltered Caleb's hand and sat him down and said, "Here, watch this."
And your mind was blown and your heart grew 3 sizes.
Oh yeah.
I think that's
I bestow
really
upon
special.
you, Garp.
Yeah. And it was a great bestowal.
Bestowal. I love that. Caleb, you get this movie that sounds really progressive and heartening. I got the Greasy Strangler from Neil. So I just want to say, like, that's our relationships.
Again, Greasy Strangler can be whatever it wants to be, though. So there is no winner or loser in this story.
There's not a loser when you're talking about Greasy Strangler. It's just impossible.
Or World According to Garp. So.
Okay.
The Greasy Strangler is to Sandra as according to Garp is to Caleb.
And you know what? There is that really weirdly touching, heartwarming scene between father and son in The Greasy Strangler. It's a dramedy. It's fine.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure.
There's a lot of great parts in that film that bring a tear to my eye.
So many tears.
So many
mostly
tears.
free drinks.
Did you guys notice how I did not put Get Out on my dark comedy list?
Yeah, because I think we were all kind of like the record scratch sound. I mean, I'm not saying it's not.
I still disagree, but I just did that for you. But now I'm bringing it up, saying like it's on my list, but I didn't say it. So.
There is definitely humorous parts to that movie. Definitely.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, yes, Neil. Would you like us to talk about the smooch?
Oh, I want to get Scott involved soon with his. I want to see what we get out of him. how much yelling is there going to be?
Well, here, let's do this. Let me just kind of summarize the film briefly, and then how we all weigh in. Let's have producer Scott weigh in first.
Yes.
And kind of stay on the line. Producer Scott, are you on the line? Are you here?
I am. Hello.
Hello.
So, okay. I will
Long
say
time
first
producer,
of all,
first time caller.
Friends come in all sizes. That's a fact. It's true.
So I will say it is a shame that anyone watching or listening to this episode did not get to watch this with producer Scott, because he will, even if you didn't like this movie, I think he would make you like it, because you know when it's like so contagious when somebody's so deliriously happy and laughing at something. That's him with Death to Smoochy.
I love this movie so much.
Yeah, this is kind of his alpha, his omega. Okay, so this is a film from way back in 2002. It's a long, long time ago. And you know what's kind of timely? It came out on March 29th, 2002, which was just the other day.
A couple days ago.
Yeah.
So this was directed by cult show favorite Danny DeVito. We all love that man. Love it. He hasn't directed a whole ton of stuff, but he directed this, and it was written by Adam Resnick. This is the story of Rainbow Randall. Is it Randall or Randolph?
It's
Randolph.
Randolph. Okay.
Randolph.
I used it interchangeably in my notes. Hi, Jake. Rainbow Randolph is a popular kids TV show host until a scandal gets him fired and replaced by Smoochy the Rhino. So now Rainbow Randolph is out to get revenge on the squeaky clean Smoochy. So, of course, Rainbow Randolph is played by Robin Williams, and Edward Norton plays the titular Rhino.
Titular.
This is a dark comedy with horror themes. No, with crime noir themes.
So the first time I watched this movie, I want to set the scene for where I was in my movie
close
watching
your eyes,
experience.
Everybody.
So
close your eyes.
I grew up on Aladdin and Hook, and of course Mrs. Doubtfire. I didn't watch movies like this until way too late in my life. So this was like my first dark comedy, and I had never seen anything like this in a film, and I'd never seen Robin Williams like this in a film, and I couldn't believe that this lovable man would be this. And it introduced me to a stand-up after that as well, which is incredibly raunchy and incredibly
sometimes dark.
Yeah, very dark. I love this film so much because not only did it mean a lot to me just as a movie watching person, it's it led me into watching Quentin Tarantino films and things like that. But it's one of those films where you have a group of just amazing actors, amazing talent that are all there because they just really like the idea, they really like the director, they're clearly having a lot of fun being there.
Oh yeah, you got Harvey Fierstein, Kathleen Keener going in there. I think that's well put, Scott, about your relationship with Smoochy.
And I am not prepared to hear what you all think about it. Sandra, I know a little bit. Caleb in particular. Caleb, I feel like you would love it. I hope that you would love it because you and I have similar tastes, and I'm going to be heartbroken if you didn't. But
it's true, yeah.
Fire away.
Fire away, Caleb.
All right, so I saw this movie yesterday for the very first time, and I liked it. I did like it. I did not love it, but I liked it.
Will you take that, Producer Scott?
I'll take it.
Is that okay?
I'll take it.
Yeah. No, I didn't hate it. Just seeing Robin Williams now and like knowing just all the pain that he was going through, and like that trope of the sad clown, and like the drug addiction and the wanting love. HBO had an awesome documentary on him. If you haven't seen it, I cannot recommend it enough. It's so good. And his character he's off. He's got a problem. He blames Smoochy for this thing that Smoochy was not involved in any way whatsoever.
He totally did it. He did the thing that he's in trouble for. Yeah.
But I did enjoy it a lot. But I am open for you to change my mind, Scott. So, here we go. Let's see what happens.
Neil,
magic.
You're up.
I'm up. Well, Scott didn't say he cared about what I had to say.
I do care, but
I
see, for you, Neil, like you and I, you have more similar tastes to Sandra. So I'm kind of expecting you to have a similar take to Sandra. I will be, of course, delighted if you loved it.
Okay. Well, rubbing hands together. I would probably put this on the meter of probably love. I actually probably love this film.
Yay!
As
I spike the audio.
You're ramping towards love. You're ramping towards love.
I watched it. I'll be honest, I can't remember if I watched this film or not when it first came out. Like I was like, this looks like something I would have watched, but I just can't remember. At that point, very early 2000s are kind of blur. All the speedballs and the alcohol just kind of did me in. But
yeah. So we all know. Yeah, we know.
You know how that was. You know how that goes. Yeah. But
no, read about it in his memoir.
Yeah, it's all in there. So, but no, I watched it, and when I was done, I was actually thinking I might watch it again, like right away.
Oh,
because,
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Neil, you're bringing so much joy.
I praise.
Oh, Neil, good. I'm so happy.
Yes. No,
he said, Caleb, honestly, you're dead to me. Neil, I love you.
I know, right?
Finally. I worked so hard last week to make Scott happy, and now we do this week. You never know.
You never
know. I might
know.
become another notch in his bedpost. Oh, thanks.
For his fickle heart.
No, I thought it was very well directed by Danny DeVito. Like the film felt like chaotic, but at the same time, that it was very controlled because a lot of the cinematography was very, well done. Lots of lighting,
deliberate.
Deliberate. Thank you. Lots of use of cookies, which are like shadow effects and things they do. There's a lot of cool stuff that Danny DeVito likes to do in his films. And it was very strong in here that he used. So I liked that part. I thought there was some really great, I mean, the musicals and the dancing, and they did just enough of letting Robin Williams be Robin Williams in that sense where Caleb was saying that you feel sorry for him. Like in the scene in the park where he after Smoochy gets the whole Nazi thing happens to him, and then he's just like in the park dancing on the park benches and having a good old time and everything. I mean, it was just enough of like Robin Williams being his old self. You know what I mean? That it was, I don't know. I just thought it was perfect. Like it was, they didn't have a stranglehold on Robin the entire time, which became a thing at one point where he didn't get to do what we fell in love with him for. You know what I mean? But it didn't go overboard at the same time. So
yeah, he's got some Cartman vibes, Robin Williams in this movie. I will say I liked this much more the second time I saw it than the first. I don't know what I was expecting the first time I saw it, but it didn't work out.
I talked it up a lot. I talked it up a lot when I showed it to you the first time.
It's hard. Anytime something is like somebody's favorite of something, you know, you're kind of like, it was one of those where I was kind of like waiting for the laugh, like, and then it was like beats of me not laughing. And then I'm like, oh, I feel bad. I think I should be laughing now. But, and I just didn't know about the kind of absurd, kind of wacky tone of the film. But it is so deliberate. It's totally deliberate. And you'll hear a lot of people talk about how undervalued this film is. You know, like it's like I said, it's definitely a cult film. A lot of people who are into it, kind of the code word is, you know, kind of like how with Greasy Strangler we say like free drinks and stuff. They'll say like safari, you know, because like it's like in the little inside joke, right? I appreciate Danny DeVito's, you know, commitment to making the films that he wants to make. It's kind of like Rob Zombie in that way, right? Where it's like, this is the film I want to make. And people will get it or they won't get it. I also, of course, appreciate Robin's commitment. And Edward Norton is so goddamn committed in this role.
Yeah.
I know I like Edward Norton. That's another one of Scott's favorite actors. So this is really just like, and Danny DeVito. So this is really just like, it was like made for Scott. Like this powerhouse.
It's such an incredible cast. I mean, really, there's not that for something that's so almost art house to have a cast like that is unheard of.
Right. I love the soundtrack of this movie too. It's like it's real out there. It's like super out there. My first note right off the bat, 10 out of 10 would wear the rainbow Randolph outfit. Full stop.
Okay.
Makeup, hat, shoes. I even wore my glasses that kind of like match.
Okay.
It's a look and it's for me.
Why not? Take it. Can you do the same, the dancing, all the quick step dancing and everything involved?
Give me time. The monkey can be taught, people. I'll get there. I was getting major college admission scandal vibes with this
right
as well, because it was like, instead of getting your kid into college with like pretending they're on the road team, it was like they get a spot like, you know, like up front and like dancing and stuff.
Right. That's pretty, that's like becomes a major federal crime apparently, by paying to get your kid up front on a kid TV show.
That's actually not something that never really occurred to me until this watching of it. It's like, what he was doing, I don't know if that's illegal.
Right.
Well, the only illegal thing he's doing is if he's not reporting it on his taxes.
True.
Which I'm sure he wasn't. So. Yeah.
But I don't know if tax evasion necessarily gets you kicked off of a show.
Children's show.
Yeah. Depends what's in your
you got to be a good influence to those
contract.
children. You got to make sure pay your taxes, kids.
Is there? Did they still make?
But I also don't know that children's show hosts get the status that they do in this show either. So
I was gonna say too, like, do they still make shows like these where there's someone in a costume or a funny outfit and they like sing with the kids? I feel like that died at some point. I don't know when though, But I don't know, Caleb, you have a young child.
I have kids, and they do not watch anything like that.
Nor do they on?
Nor do they ever watch anything like that. So,
like when I was really a kid, there was Barney.
I think it really went away when computer CGI became cheaper and easier to do. Because you have a lot of kids shows like that are clearly made, very quickly, very cheaply, and to say nothing of the quality of the show itself, but it's a lot easier to just get some voice actors and some, people in front of a computer making some animations.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's some cable access, kids shows out there, and I want to hear about it. What about Jon Stewart sporting that Caesar haircut?
Oh my God. I have that note.
Of course you do. He's got that Caesar, man, going.
Can we talk about Jon Stewart?
We're gonna.
It reminds me of Matthew Broderick and Lady Hawk.
Yeah.
Yes, it is the same energy. It's that same energy. And remember, because obviously Caesar maybe made it, originated it. But remember George Clooney had that.
No, that was a thing. A lot of people had that haircut.
And at least one member of a boy band circa that era always had that haircut too. It's like Brian and the Backstreet Boys, JC and NSYNC.
Oh Jesus!
Probably everybody in 98 Degrees. This is when I was a child, sir. Of course I know their names. Oh my God. So the first point I really lulled in this movie is that Smoochy has his regular Friday night gig at the methadone clinic.
Yes.
And I love how Edward Norton is so earnest in his portrayal in this movie. He's just so incredibly nice, which is kind of the whole point, right? That he has this untarnishable kind of record. But I don't know, just we'll get you off that smack. Oh yes, we will. It's so sweet.
And he knew everyone though there too. He would be talking to certain people in there, Yep.
Yeah, he stitches. And that's the thing. He really cares. I don't know. He's
cares about the kids, the programming.
Nice.
Well, he's
the high fructose corn syrup.
That person doesn't exist, but
well, you know what he had a producer Scott upbringing. Clearly, is what it is.
Yes, he did.
Because there's a line where they talk about where I think someone when he's in the car with Robin Williams who's driving him to the Nazi thing again, right. And they say something about Randolph being he's like, Robin Williams is imposturing. Well, at that point he's different nationalities or whatever.
He's Australian, Scottish.
Yeah, it kind of keeps going around, but he's like, I hear he's a pillow biter, and Edward Norton says, I'm not aware of his sleeping disorders, but it's just I don't know. I don't know. It was just precious. It was precious. So
it is. And it's kind of a little bit of Mr. Rogers, who's super wholesome. Mr. Rogers. I mean, obviously, we all kind of know he was really kind of incredible dude. Looking back at it, he was really cool. I don't know. It just the things he did. He was very progressive. He was queer too, which a lot of people don't know, which is awesome.
Who was?
Mr.
Sorry.
Rogers. Yeah.
Oh, Rogers. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. And I don't know. So it's just kind of that same sort of you can't hate him. You can't hate Mr. Rogers. You can hate the puppets, especially Lady Louise.
No, come on.
Comment down below if you were also traumatized by those puppets. King Friday. All of them.
For me, it was a trolley. That trolley scared the crap out of me. So
did it really?
I don't know. Ding ding! Here comes the trolley. Trolley.
Yeah, because they're taking you away to the scary ass land of puppets. I could have done
what it was.
I could have done with all the humans. I remember this when I was a little kid, but things got weird in the puppet world because there was also full size people with puppets. Lady Elaine. Lady Elaine is at the Lady Elaine Fairchild? Is that the really creepy puppet I'm thinking of? It's got the red nose, wears a little red sweater. Fuck, I will post pictures on social media of that.
I'm realizing I know that I watched Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I remember very little of it. Clearly,
you blocked it.
I remember very little of it too.
Yeah.
The thing that always got me was the shoe change. Like,
oh yeah.
I'm like, why are you changing your shoes? But now as an adult, as an adult, I have inside shoes and outside shoes. So now I do get it.
Right? You have like your nice, soft, comfy shoes. And you know what? They're cleaner too. If you only wear them in the house, they're really clean. Right. Yeah. And Neil, the cardigan, I mean, we're preaching to the choir.
There you go.
Yep. That's where I got it from, baby. Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers, all day, every day.
Mr. Rogers, all day long, son.
You know who had real success from that is Daniel Tiger. He's got his own spinoff, and he's an animated tiger now, and like he's done real well. He's done real well for himself.
He's a good tiger doing that. He's doing the anime karate stuff now. I've seen, yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's busy. He's the nostalgia boom. It all comes back around.
It comes back.
By the way, there's nothing wrong with eating soy dogs, and I commend him for that. I love that. There is nothing wrong with loving animals in the environment. That makes you a strong person, not a weak, lame person. So you know what? Everybody get on our level.
What's amazing, though, is back in 2001, 2002, when this came out, like soy dogs, alfalfa, and especially like gluten-free buns, that wasn't really a thing then. And like
it was underground.
That like his whole character is actually a little ahead of his time. Like I didn't
very much so, because I was thinking, like, when he said gluten-free, I was like, I don't think I would have even known what that is.
What's a gluten?
Back then,
would have said,
yeah. What's gluten?
Yeah, I mean that stuff used to be hard to find too.
That's a new freaking band out of Seattle. That's a new. It's the gluten.
Aren't they a grunge band? Gluten free.
Right, gluten free.
So
oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say something else about this movie, and Neil brought it up. Is the direction of this? There's a part of it that comes off like a really high budget student film. Especially noticeable, like any of the scenes with Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
Oh no, Harvey Firestein.
Where are you going, Scott? Keep it above the belt, Scott. Come
on. Anything with Harvey Firestein, like most of his scenes, he's never filmed straight on. He's filmed in a mirror.
Right.
He's filmed through a piece of glass. He's filmed in shadow. And there's all these tricks that he does. There's a great transition when Tommy, the head of the Irish mob, is explaining what she did, and she just kind of walks over to the left and just transitions into this whole different scene that is like one of the cleanest transitions I've ever seen. And the film is just full of stuff like that. I as kind of a little bit of a film nerd now, I really appreciate like all of those little tricks that he threw in there just because it was fun.
I appreciate you bringing that up, because that's huge. And also, if you can see us right now, there's a battle of the cats going on behind Neil and I for cat adorable supremacy, and it's good. That's how every episode of this show should be. It's just some adorable critter in the background. I'm also glad, Scott, that you brought up Tommy.
Fight.
Tommy and the Irish gangsters are like my favorite part of the film. I think they're so funny, so funny. And what's his name? Is it Spinner?
Spinner.
Fantastic.
Spinner.
I love they bury him with this.
What's that actor's name? Michael
Ripoli.
Rapoli, yeah,
something like that.
He's funny.
To me, he's always like the landlord in While You Were Sleeping. But yeah, just him banging on the cowbell. And just
he was great.
So good, and yeah, I just love that. Also, I hadn't heard this in an acronym in a while. HALT. I love HALT. I highly endorse HALT. If you are feeling off, hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. It's actually a real thing. And I promise you, the next time you're like mad or having a bad day or something, halt and identify which one of those you are. Work through it. That's how you stay so zen like me.
Aha.
Obviously.
That's the trick. All right. Halt.
All right, I'm going to remember that.
Scott,
can we all get halt tattoos next to our Freddy Krueger tattoos that we're
going to put it right here.
Actually, I kind of like that.
I love halt.
Yeah.
I love it.
Do it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I'll forget.
I've always learned it. If you hate everyone, you're hungry. If everyone hates you, you're tired.
That's also true. Yeah.
I have to write that down on a piece of paper and
post it.
Metal that for a while.
Get a like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, when you feel that way, that's probably what's going on.
Hungry.
Okay.
Neil had a question for me.
He did. I saw him.
I was going to say, actually, it's more of a statement, but if you haven't seen Hoffa, which is a Danny DeVito directed film, check that one out because it's got some similar pieces of cinematography and direction that this does. Like a lot of the special uses of the camera and using shadows and things like he does here, and you definitely can kind of get a same feeling.
What'd you call it? Cookies?
A cookie, yep. A cookie is a way to cast certain shadows and shapes, or shapes on a person or a wall in shadows. It's called a cookie. That's
cool. I was not familiar with that term. It's adorable and delicious.
Yeah, I didn't invent it. It's one of those things they taught me in film school. So, but
and you remembered it.
You know what?
The director could have been
like a really famous Muppet said, "It's good enough for me."
Yeah, but. You could have been saying this is a cookie, and this is called a cupcake, and then this is a strawberry shortcake, and
okay, then we're gonna start to get a little sus of your knowledge, but that's you know I like where we're going with it. So of course Neil brought up the Nazis.
The Nazis.
That moment is so shocking, so hilarious. The reveal of like, oh my god, and it's like that is so messed up that he did that to him. That was messed up, Rainbow.
It's kind of messed, but like I said, it was
Death to Smoochy, Edward Norton's second Nazi film.
Oh, good point. Who said that?
I said that one.
You did? Oh, you wrote that down.
That's a good one. That's a zinger. That's a knee slapper.
That's a great one. Yeah.
That's a good one. I was writing down some of the lines and stuff because there's a few really good ones in this one. And it's when he's driving him, or I think he's on the phone. He's telling him about the award Rainbow's false character is, and he says it's going to be presented by an orphan with mild asthma. Oddly specific.
Yes.
Just mild asthma.
Just mild.
I will say, just to for the record, I didn't appreciate some of the gay jokes, didn't age super well, but it was 2002.
A lot of them did not age very well, but I actually, I really like the way, again, that Edward Norton, the way that he approaches it is actually really sweet. Like he's reading Randolph to filth, but he's doing it in just the nicest, most genuine way. Like, yeah, you're pretty messed up, and you have some complicated feelings with your sexuality, maybe. Like, it's just so nice and earnest.
That part I loved because I loved Rainbow's face. He's like, I do. And I loved that because I feel that's kind of jumping to the end a little bit, but I really love how he uses kindness to get to Rainbow's heart, and then they become friends and they become allies, and he helps him obviously rebuild his career. And I think that's a really, really sweet message, especially because obviously Rainbow did mess up. He actually says that too when one of the police asks him after the big climax. He's like, "You okay?" He's like, "I don't know. I'm kind of fucked up in general, so it's hard to gauge."
I wrote that down too because I love that line.
That's like my favorite line in the film.
That's a mood for our time. That is a mood for our time. Yeah.
Well, but it also is kind of like, he obviously has some issues. He's got some mental health things going on, and that's not really something that was talked about in 2002. I mean, it was talked about, but
not the same.
Not the same way that it is now. So it would have been easy just to like get rid of him, cancel him, whatever, but at least he has like an arc of redemption, when he comes out on the other side.
Well, and part of that too is because
he's really he cares. Yeah.
Well, he kind of got further away from it, but compared to all of these other, children's entertainers, he actually really cares about the way the kids see him. Like he actually
Rainbow does. Yeah.
Yeah, Rainbow does.
Yeah. He he obviously cares about the kids. He kind of gets a little blindsided by the fame and the narcissism and the paycheck, but you can tell he actually likes the kids, and that's sweet. Oh, the chameleon's water thing just turned on. So,
can we touch upon Catherine Keener?
Yes,
she has a pretty substantial role in this film.
Please, because she is amazing.
Yeah.
Yes,
I love her. Yeah.
She is a huge part of the film, and her chemistry with everybody in the film is outstanding. Like she's probably more than anybody else in the film, 110% committed.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I love her character. I love that she's jaded. I love that she is a bit of a kids TV host groupie, like the most random thing to be.
I know, but don't you need to be shamed for that though?
Yes. No, he does kind of slut shame her a little bit, which I was like, Rambo, take it down a notch. Rambo.
Well, even
Rambo Randolph, whatever the hell his name is, take it down.
Even Edward Norton's a little taken aback by the lift.
He is, but then he finally like kind of backs up and goes like, all right, whatever.
The funny part is that she is a kids entertainer groupie. That's the funny part.
That's the meat there.
Some of the script writing didn't age super well because it did come off as pretty slut shamey. Where like the funny part is who she was continuously sleeping with.
Right. The most random niche group of people one could conceive.
She was just looking for her Ricketts.
Oh my God. Ricketts the hippo that's hilarious. Rick, I mean, can't you just picture this like jaundicey ball jointed hippo dancing around? I love it. I love that.
So she's obviously she's been in a ton of movies.
Yes.
But there's a lot from the I guess you'd say late 90s and the early to mid 2000s that she did, where she kind of had a decent little pivotal, supporting role. I mean, like being John Malkovich or where she was in there quite a bit. So I mean, she's definitely always played those great stalwart supporting roles that keeps furthering the film. And I mean, she's great and she got that one film I want you guys to see really bad that I want to watch with you called Hamlet 2.
Oh, she's in that?
She's in Hamlet 2 as well.
She's in that picture?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But she's always been a great actress. So no, and she was it's funny because she starts out, obviously she's, fairly aggressive. We'll call her and her demeanor, and of course
she's an executive.
Exactly. So but then she, warms up to Edward Norton and his whatever pristine ways of thinking. And I mean, it's, she's adorable. I mean, she does a great job. The way she goes from, the bastard executive to the basically the protagonist, it's great. She does a great job.
And she kind of plays the straight man against these characters.
She does. Yes, exactly.
She has like a really wry, sarcastic sort of delivery.
Very sarcastic, very acerbic, just like unfortunately, their argument in her office, like "Get out, no, you get out," is one of the highlights of the film for me. And it's I don't know if it was intended to be, but it is just so beautifully performed, and she's just it's brilliant.
I agree.
I love when she gets rid of him from the meeting by throwing the frisbee out the door.
So good.
Oh, it's okay.
But that also reminded me of another Danny DeVito directed movie, War of the Roses, where
good dark comedy.
Kathleen Turner throws a plate at Michael Douglas, like it's sort of like filmed the same way. So
yeah,
like, oh, I see you, Danny. I see you.
my other, I think maybe my only other Danny DeVito directed film I love is of course Matilda. Again, child of the 90s. This comes as no surprise, right? I got to have my Matilda, and he does a great job in that film, narrating that film, directing that film. He totally captured the book for me. So, Danny, chef's kiss to you, my man. And I love that he's found this new generation when he was on Sunny in Philadelphia, and it's just like the whole world deserves Danny DeVito. Like, he's a gift that keeps on giving.
We should do a DeVito episode.
We should, man. We kind of just did.
No, there's more. When you think about Throw Mama from a Train and
his acting movies, not just his directing.
Romancing the Stone, yeah.
Another producer Scott jam right there.
Oh, who doesn't love Romancing the Stone and Dean Cundy? So we got to do it.
That's right. One last thing about Kathleen Keener too is talking about her roles like late 90s, early 2000s. It's one of the reasons I loved her casting in Get Out as well, getting to be so evil and diabolical. But then like she's also just like this sweet mom type, and she's clearly just keeps getting better with age. Great actress.
Yep.
Yes.
When Smoochy comes out bedecked in American flags after the Nazi scandal, it's just like
that's how you make the Nazis go away.
There is like, I mean, ever since there's been people getting, quote unquote canceled, and then they have to do the apology tour, and there's like a formula to this whole thing, and that's just like perfect with the flags and the sparklers, and it's perfect.
Yep. By the way, the ice show that he does at the end of the movie,
so dramatic.
The opera,
which is like no kid would ever sit through that fucking show.
No.
I just sit there watching that, going like, my kids would be like, "Can we go now?"
they love the Smoochy so much they don't care, I guess.
But it's like, so dark because you have Moochie laying there dead in the middle of the ice.
Yep. Oh, poor Moochie
flying up to heaven.
Oh my god! And just the little masks. Yeah, it's just, and there's so much glitter too. It's so weird. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. We can't leave without my other favorite part, which is my stepdad's not mean. He's just adjusting. Oh my god.
Other note that I have.
I like cried during that song.
That was a great song.
Producer Scott's just cracking up.
Can you sing it for us, Scott? Do you know any lyrics to that song?
You need to learn it on the guitar, Scott.
I do.
But my stepdad,
sing it.
He's just adjusting.
And like being the second man in Mom's Wife. It's so messed up.
But and then how's it end though? It's like,
but if he's ever abusive to your mom, what are the magic numbers?
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
And all the kids
after he's just finished a song about how abusive stepdad is. Bro.
Oh, tears. I have tears in my eyes. That sound is so good.
But the very end of this film though, when they're doing the ice show, the two of them together, and then they start dancing and floating through the air and doing all their stuff. And then Kathleen Keener comes in and they're all three of them together. She's flying, yes. They're all flying together. It was it was great. It was a great ending.
It's like Peter Pan, like the stage show of Peter Pan. It's just like, oh, look at the magic and the majesty, and and we're all friends, and
it's crazy because this movie, I read it cost $50 million to make, and
Wow. Is that a lot or a little?
Did you say 50?
I'm out for that kind of film.
50.
That's a lot.
It's a lot for that kind of film. It's probably all salary.
And its worldwide return was $8.3 million.
Yeah, people weren't ready. People weren't ready.
People didn't go see this movie. No. I mean, myself included. I mean, not that I would have paid for it, but even I didn't go see it for free.
So I'm curious, Caleb, because I've never heard someone say that they like Death to Smoochy. It's a very polarizing film.
Yeah.
So, I mean, why? Like, I can't see why people hate it. Why do you think it's so polarizing for people?
I think it was just a hard sell. I think it was just a really hard sell. It's an R-rated comedy about kids film. I mean, kids show hosts dressed, up as a rhinoceros and
a rainbow man.
In a rain, yeah.
I don't know.
I think when you're reading reviews and you're like going through like, hey, what should we see this weekend? That's just not. Right. That's not what you pick.
I think people were also maybe in a little bit of like, it was a hard sell to see Robin Williams gritty for a lot of audiences. And I think Edward Norton was very gritty, and it was a hard sell to see him in like a comedy.
Yeah, and but then, I think, hold on, I'm pulling this up right now. 92.
Jake wanted to walk on the keyboard.
He did.
Robin Williams he did 1 Hour Photo, Death to Smoochy, Insomnia, like boom, boom, boom.
I didn't know that 1 Hour Photo was first.
Like 3, well, that's when they were released. I don't know. Who knows when they were filmed.
I didn't realize that it had come out first.
Those are 3 like really dark kind of movies when you think about it.
Yeah. And I think all 3 of them probably underperformed at the box office would be my guess too.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't remember Insomnia how well it did.
I don't remember how Insomnia did. That's like Christopher Nolan though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And good old Al Pacino, baby.
Another cult show friend. Yeah, I think and then also just kind of like that. I don't even know how I don't remember from 2002, but I can't imagine that they marketed it well. I can't imagine that they were hitting the right notes to get people in, and it's absurd comedy too.
Trailers for that time period in general weren't super great, so I can imagine that the trailers are probably not really good for this film.
Yeah, well, I mean, Neil brought up the dancing scene with Robin Williams, but in the background you can see the World Trade Center, one of the towers. So they were filming that like 5 months before September 11th,
Oh, and I know a lot of movies had a hard time finding the right audience around that period too, because people were all over the place emotionally and with what they were seeing. I'm really surprised that neither of any of you have brought up the penis cookies, because I would have thought that would have been a favorite among at least a few of you.
You mean you're talking about what? Are you blind? It's a cock. It's not a rocket. You sick fuck. It's a cock. Look, it's a cock and balls.
Oh, I'm so glad you wrote this down.
Chorizo and huevos. It's a big stiffy. It's a penis. Penis Maximus. A willy. A weenie. A Mr. Jiggle Daddy. A one-eyed wonder weasel. Don't you see that? It's a Jimmy and the Twins rumple foreskin. He made this. It's made from a dill dough. You mean that quote? That cookie quote?
Part. I'm getting flashbacks to all the things that when we play FMK that Neil brings up. I'm traumatized.
And I swear that had to have been written by Robin.
Was there a cream filling in that cookie?
There probably was.
What would that
I
be?
don't know. They looked
What would that be if there was a cream
they looked
filling?
a little flat and burned, honestly.
No.
Caleb, don't answer this. This is a trick question.
I don't know.
Caleb, focus.
I feel
Don't
like
answer
I'm
this.
being led.
Oh, I will mute you, Neil. I will do it.
I'm not saying anything.
I knew you guys would like the rocket cookies.
That scene is so classic Robin Williams.
It is. Yeah.
I guarantee. I mean, I don't know this for sure, but I guarantee he wrote that.
Yeah.
I guarantee that is 100% a Robin Williams joint. That whole monologue.
Yes,
Right.
absolutely.
I love that he gets carried off by the security.
Probably
Like,
an ad lib, even.
Yeah.
Like that's how amazing that guy was.
They probably had like one line in there, and he just kept going and going and going.
Yeah.
Yep.
Another super, super dark moment that I wanted to say, my closing thought is when he's gonna light himself on fire.
Oh, yes.
And the little girl comes and like saves him, and then she just bounces and everybody just drops him for Smoochy. It's so sad, but it's very funny because he doesn't seem super committed to this pyrotechnic.
So what stopped me?
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't think he has all of his mental facilities.
No, he's not well.
You know, he just wants to be on screen. He wants to be loved. He wants to be seen, you know.
Yes. You can really tell. I think Robin Williams did put some of his pain into that film. I'm glad
I think he did with a lot of his
the
movies.
Yes. I'm glad somebody brought up, I think was it you, Neil, that brought up the HBO documentary? It's so good.
Caleb
did. So good. Caleb did. Yeah.
Yeah, it is wonderful. I mean, sad, but wonderful.
But a fitting tribute.
I just bring up the cream filling. Caleb brings up the smart stuff.
Well, thank you so much for viewing one of my favorite films of all time. It is... I mean, it's a cult film. I thought of this like when Sandra first started doing this show. I was like, this is a cult film. This is a film that they should do, and I'm so excited that it's finally happening. And
that's like Caleb... the only reason Scott like supported me being on the cult show is he's like, maybe you can do a Death to Smoochy episode. Yes.
And Sandra said, that cock Neil will never let him do this show.
Yeah.
So
and Caleb, I'm so glad that you liked it. And Neil, I'm incredibly surprised and delighted that you loved it. And I just want to give you a hug, and we'll watch it again. If you're going to watch it again, watch it with me.
Okay, let's do it.
You won't regret it.
I dance. I really do.
He dances.
Scott, I think I like it even more now just talking about it with you.
Aww.
So good pick.
You just wouldn't let me have this, Caleb. You just wouldn't let me have it.
No,
that's what you get for calling him a drip.
It went from a B- to a B+. How's that?
That's pretty good if you ask me.
Pretty good.
Better than going the other way.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Went from a B- to a D. Yeah.
So we all worked hard on last week's episode, but Scott had to go through a lot of, bobbing and weaving to make that all come together. So,
yeah,
it was kind of like an easy way to, Scott, you should get to pick the next episode because you worked hard on that. So thank you. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Scott.
Those, I mean, this show is always not easy for Neil to do the pre-recorded ones, for Scott to do the live ones, but live in the studio is definitely, it's a different beast. So we're happy when we can do them, but they're a little more than us-ing. So
absolutely,
it's a little peek behind the curtain there at the cult show.
Go.
Well, all right, chat. That is enough of me. I will. I will.
Never enough.
See you all from the other side of the camera.
Well, you know what? Actually, what would be a good transition point to take us home is next week is Caleb's pick.
It's my pick.
So if you want your homework, listen up.
You guys ready? You ready? We're doing a double feature.
Uh-oh.
We're doing 1975's Rollerball And 1976's Logan's Run.
Yes.
Wow.
Don't get confused like I did and think he said Thunderball. It's not that one. Rollerball.
I have to watch 2 movies?
Oh,
okay.
no. I think they're both pretty short, aren't they? I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that.
I don't know.
Caleb loves the double feature. He loves the double feature.
I'm always going to rock the double feature, just so you guys.
He's always going to rock that.
Well, no, that's not true, because I did Vampire's Kiss on its own, so.
He's almost always going to.
Because you made me.
All right, people, is that it?
Yeah, I think that's good. That's good.
I call it a smooch.
Let's get the fork and, stick it in. Poke.
Bye.
All right.
Your stepdad's not mean. He's just adjusting.
Hungry, Pismo, Laura, Mindy, Dusty, Vision's Truth, Mark, Michael B, Todd from the 209. Hopefully your daughter gets her job back soon.
Help Todd. Support Todd.
Is Macy still here? She may have checked out. I don't know.
She's around.
She's right down the hallway.
All right, well, say hi to her. Throw a donut to her for us, will you?
Hey, Macy.
Hey, Macy. And then we got a Shanna Ray 85 joining us, by the way. Oh, hi, Shanna. Thank you.
Oh, that's mine.
That's yours? One of yours?
That's mine. Yeah.
Never mind, Shanna. Never mind.